Hello, friends. How are you? How's things? How's life? How's the weather? How's the weather where you are? It's crazy here. Yesterday it was 66, I think, was the high. Today it's 30s and it's snowing. We had like a couple of 60-degree days. Anyway, the title of the video: Finding the Jam. I live in a kind of a cultural dead zone. I don't really mean that, but I mean that. Like, I think you guys know I live in what most would consider rural West Virginia. I do live in a metropolitan area. I guess it's not metropolitan. I live in a very small city. I live in the seventh largest city in my state, which is not saying much. It's less than 20,000 people here, but we have people, and there's culture here. We do have culture, but we don't have a lot of opportunity that is present in larger cultural areas. That's what I mean by I'm in a cultural dead zone. North of us is Morgantown, West Virginia, which is about 60,000 people, so it's 3 times the size or so. And there's a college there, a university. I mean, there's a university here as well, but maybe like a couple thousand students max. It's not like the 10,000 or whatever students at WVU. So there's a lot more there. But the weird thing is, okay, the title of this video, Finding the Jam. I watch a lot of music educators on YouTube because I'm learning music, actively learning music, like through bass playing. I've been working with synthesizers and learning kind of electronic music. And so I'm actively learning music, and they all talk about find the jam and go to the jam and play the jam and whatever. And I'm like, what the hell is the jam? And I guess in places where there are culture, there are just regular musician hangs where there's just here's a space, whether it's a bar or a church basement or whatever, and musicians just show up and play music together. And it's not really about a band playing. It's not really about, trying to organize into a community concert. It's literally just, let's use our instruments to make music together as a group, and just, that's it. It's kind of a hang. It's kind of going to board game night, what I would imagine going to board game night is. And there is nothing like that here in my town, for instance. And maybe I should start one. Maybe I could figure out a way to start one. That might be something that I try to do because I've been struggling, I've been playing bass for almost a year now, and I so far have played for about 20 minutes with my daughter, and that's it. I haven't played with anybody. And finding other musicians has been frustrating. The funny thing is, there are, I guess an open mic night could be considered a jam, but really is it? If you go to an open mic night and it's really about a person going up and playing their song, is there really a jam there, or is it just let's go appreciate music? That's one thing, sure. And there are open mic nights in Morgantown that I could go to. And I think maybe they're starting one in Clarksburg, which is south of us. Both of these places are 30-minute drives, 20-minute drives, whatever. But the interesting thing is, farther, deeper into the state, there are cultural centers where there are jams. Mostly bluegrass, country western. I just want to play music. I don't care what kind of music. Gospel, anything. I just want to play. So if I lived in a less, populated area, if I lived in a smaller area of West Virginia, there's a good opportunity I might find a community jam. But for whatever reason, here, completely dead. I don't know any musicians in this area. I've tried to reach out to friends who have or have not played music, and I've reached out to a lot of people and said, where can I go? There's got to be a place to find somebody to play with. Where is the jam? Is there one? And there has to be, right? When I was a kid, one of my teachers in probably 7th grade was a musician and a DJ. He DJ'd all the school dances. And he was in a band in the 60s and 70s that recorded an album. And there was a studio here in town that recorded albums, that recorded musicians. And it was a well-known place and a hangout for musicians. That doesn't exist anymore. I don't think there are any studios left in FAIRMONT. There might be some in Morgantown or something. And I mean, I'm sure there are like home studios, like dudes who have their own setups. And I have the most micro studio you could possibly have on my laptop, but I wouldn't call myself a studio musician or whatever. I wouldn't invite somebody over and record them playing. I mean, I would if we were jamming or whatever, but I'm not going to, sell myself as a studio. But even that, there's not really a place to go hang out and find musicians at a studio. There's not even a place to book time for that. So where do I go? What do I do? How do I find these people? You would think with the internet it would be easier. It would be easier to coalesce and be like, hey guys, we're going to do a blues jam at this, community center. Bring an instrument and play with us. That'd be pretty cool. How do you get that set up? Maybe I need to set that up. Maybe that's something that I have to lead. And I'm okay with doing that. But what I've discovered through, mostly Facebook or Craigslist or Instagram is there's not a lot of people talking about music in this area. So even the pages that are dedicated to my town's music scene, there's almost no activity. And so finding people on those places to come and say, hey, let's get together and do a jam. How do you pull that off? Anybody know? Has anybody started something in a rural area? I'd love to hear from you. Because it's frustrating. I want to play. I think the next step in me learning to be a better musician is playing with others, is figuring that part out. And I can't do that until I find others to play with. But I'm also in a position where I'm not, I'm not committing to going on, joining a touring band or anything like that. The jam life might be just that's the extent of my my experience with my future with the music. I don't know, but I think that's the step one, figuring that out, right? I didn't expect it to be this difficult, and I think part of it is I'm at an age where all of my friends grew up and moved away, and they have jobs and lives and families, and you eventually kind of give up on all those childhood early 20s, we're going to rule the world dreams, and we're going to make the music, and we're going to do the thing, and music just becomes a kind of a thing you wish you would have done, but you can't. So how do I find those people again? I'm going to keep trying, because I'm not done with this. I'm enjoying playing by myself. I really do enjoy sitting down and just playing, putting headphones on and jamming with myself, but I'd love to experience it with others. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 25,000 again. I had 25,000 subscribers 6 years ago. I'd like to get back to 25,000. I've been losing ever since. So help me get back to 25,000. Appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. Today's 1,000 plus little things happy, successful people do differently. We have been learning 12 ways to get a second chance in life. Number 4. Accept accountability for your current situation. You are the only one who can directly control the outcome of your life, and no, it won't always be easy. Everyone faces a maze of obstacles. You must accept accountability for your situation and overcome those obstacles. Choosing not to is giving up on the life you were meant to create. Yeah. There's a lot of people in my life that I wish would accept accountability for the situation that they're in instead of blaming others. Professional victims don't help anybody, and in fact bring a lot of people down.